Good evening and welcome to the Bartender's Bedside Companion. Isn't modern technology wonderful? Now, without a camera crew, you can get perfect video done anywhere, anytime, on your own. It's so simple. Tonight, I'd like to talk about the difference between shaking and stirring. It seems like every modern bartender has been taught very black and white rules on this subject. You stir a clear drink, you shake a drink with fruit juice in it. But where do the teachers get this information to say that the opposite of that is absolutely wrong, should never be done, and you've just ruined a drink if you say shake a Manhattan or a martini? Well, I've done a bit of digging, and I went to one of the great Bibles, David Embury's Fine Art of Mixing Drinks, page 99, to stir or to shake. And this will be part of our reading this evening. Here again, the instructions in most recipe books are far from enlightening. The reader is told to stir or to shake, as the recipe calls for, under penalty of spoiling the drink. Why should he do one or the other, however, is seldom explained. And even professional bartenders do not always know. I once heard a bartender, and a fairly good one at that, assure a customer that he could not shake a martini because shaking bruises the gin. By the way, you can't bruise gin, but that's a story for another day. Embury goes on, and on, and on, and on for quite a distance here, and sums it up with, some people care more for the stinging cold of the shaken cocktail than they do for its appearance. So if you don't mind a muddy-looking drink, shake to your heart's content. So here's Embury saying, if you want a very clear drink, stir. If you want a very cold drink, shake. And I will tell you, personal preference, shake my Manhattan, please. I love the way the bitters foams up on a good Manhattan. I have no problem with it being just a little bit muddy. Now, we could look at another source on this. Bernard DeVoto was a mid-century American writer, wonderful voice for drink, wrote a great book called The Hour. And in it, he talks about shaking or stirring a martini. Take the superstition, for I cannot dignify it as a heresy, that the martini should not be shaken. Nonsense. This perfect thing is made of gin and vermouth. They're self-reliant spirits, stable, stout of heart. We do not have to treat them as if they were plover's eggs. It does not matter in the least whether you shake it or stir it. It does matter if splinters of ice get into the cocktail glass, and I suppose that this small seed of fact is what grew into the absurdity that we must not bruise the gin. He's usually accepted as one of the historic voices of the martini because DeVoto said you could no longer keep a martini in the refrigerator than you could keep a kiss there. And yet, he seems to be overlooked on the fact that he says, you want to shake a martini? Go right ahead. So, I don't think this is all as cut and dried as we've been taught. And I don't think your hands are tied. That there's no right or wrong way, as long as it makes a good cocktail. And so, when you've made a good cocktail, don't forget to invite me in for one. Cheers and good night.